Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into the world of music to crack a pretty awesome code, the secret behind Latin American rhythm. You know that sound that's just so full of energy it makes you want to move?
So you know that feeling, right? A song comes on and your body just starts moving before you even think about it. It's like the beat has this magnetic pull. Well, that's not an accident. It's actually a kind of musical language, and today we're going to figure out exactly how it works.
So first things first, to decode this beat, we've got to go back to its origin story. And trust me, this isn't just one simple story. It's more like a massive, epic team-up.
Think of it like the ultimate creative mashup. For real, Latin American music wasn't born in just one spot. It's a fusion, a blend of different sounds and ideas from all over the world coming together to create something totally new.
And this right here breaks it down perfectly. You've basically got three key ingredients in the mix. First, you have the indigenous peoples of the Americas, with their flutes and ancient drums. Then, you have the European influence, with people bringing over things like guitars. And this is absolutely crucial, you have the powerful, complex rhythms brought by enslaved African people. That mix, indigenous, European, and African, is literally the DNA of the beat we hear today.
Okay, so we know where the vibe comes from, but how is that sound actually made? Well, let's meet the players, the all-star team of instruments that bring it all to life. I want you to think of them like characters in a video game, where each one has a unique, special ability.
And here they are, our starting lineup. You've got the congas, which are the absolute powerhouse. Then the bongos, they're like the fast striker. The timbales, total hype man. And the cajon, that's the squad's secret weapon. So let's get to know them a little better.
First up, the congas. These are those tall, single-headed drums that originally came from Cuba. You play them with your hands, and they usually come in sets of 2 or 3. Each one is a slightly different size and pitch, which lets you create these really deep, resonant, powerful tones.
So, if we're sticking with our video game analogy, the congas are definitely the tank of the group. You know, the character that's super strong and holds the front line. That's what congas do for the music, especially in something like salsa. They lay down this solid, steady groove that everything else is built on. They're the rock.
All right, now for our fast attack players. On one side, you've got the bongos, these 2 small drums played with just your fingertips, which means you can play incredibly fast, high-pitched fills and solos. On the other side are the timbales, these sharp, metallic-sounding drums you play with sticks. They're the hype man. They signal big changes in the song, often by hitting the metal sides of the drum, a sound called a cascara. And now for our secret weapon, the cajon. And yeah, it's pretty much what it looks like, a wooden box. The musician literally sits on it and plays it with their hands. But here's the cool part. By hitting different spots, you can get a deep bass sound, kind of like a kick drum, and a high, sharp slap that sounds like a snare. It's like a whole drum kit in one simple box.
And the story behind this instrument? Wow. It's just incredible. So, when enslaved African people in Peru were forbidden from playing their own traditional drums, they didn't just give up on music. No way! They started using whatever was around them, like old shipping crates, and turned them into instruments. The cajon isn't just a drum, it's a powerful symbol of creativity, resilience, and the fact that you just can't silence music.
Okay, so we've got our players, our all-star team. But every team needs a captain, right? Someone who sets the rules of the game and makes sure everyone is perfectly in sync. Well, in Latin music, that huge responsibility falls to one of the smallest, simplest-looking instruments in the band.
Everybody, meet the claves. Yep, they're basically just 2 wooden sticks, but do not let their simple look fool you. These sticks hold the key to the entire song. In fact, the rhythm they play is called the clave, which is Spanish for, you guessed it, key. It literally unlocks the entire structure of the music. So how does it work? Think of the clave pattern as the main rulebook for the song, or better yet, it's like the server clock in an online game that keeps every single player perfectly synced up. The clave set a simple, repeating rhythmic pattern, and every single musician, from the congas to the singers, has to lock into it. If anyone is off the clave, the whole song starts to feel messy and just wrong. It is the absolute heart of the timing.
All right, we've got our foundation with the big drums. And we've got our timekeeper with the claves. Now it's time to add the flavor. All the little details and textures that make the music sound so rich and full. Think of these instruments as the song's texture pack. So here's our texture squad. We've got maracas, the gyro, the cowbell, and the cabasa. Each one adds its own unique flavor. First up, maracas. These are the classic shakers. You know them. They were originally made from dried gourds filled with seeds, and they create this constant, shimmering pulse of sound. It's a great way to fill in the gaps and add this smooth layer of energy.
Next, the gyro, which has one of the coolest and most unique sounds out there. It's a hollow gourd that has these ridges carved into it. You take a little stick and scrape it along the ridges, and you get this awesome, rhythmic, rasping sound that nothing else can really replicate.
And of course, the cowbell, or the cencero in Spanish. This thing is a pure energy booster. Its sound is so loud and clear and metallic that it cuts right through everything else. You'll often hear it come in during the most exciting part of a song, like the chorus, to just crank up the energy level and get everyone hyped.
All right, we've met the whole team, we've seen how they work together, we've decoded the beat. So let's bring it all home. What's the main takeaway here? Here's the most important thing to remember. That huge, complex, amazing rhythm isn't just one sound. It's built by a team. It's a bunch of simple instruments where each one has its own specific job, and they all work together perfectly to create something way bigger and more powerful than any one of them could be alone.
So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. The next time you put on some great Latin music, don't just hear the beat. I want you to really listen to it. Try to pick out the different parts. Can you hear the deep, steady pulse of the congas? Can you find that clave pattern holding it all together? So what's the first instrument you're going to listen for? Have fun with it.